Welcome to Golf in the Cosmos, where physics meets the fairway and the universe takes a swing at your mind. I'm Kevin. I'm here with Andrew. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, man. We got 18 in today.
We sure did. Yeah, it took, I think, another 5-hour round to get it in, but it was fun. I think you played quite well. I played quite poorly, so I think I only beat you by 2 gross.
Yeah, I guess what I end up with, I had an 82.
Yeah, 80 here.
You had an 80, yeah.
I think the round was wild. The weather was changing back and forth, and it really was unpredictable.
Yeah, we thought about how like the wind was changing every hole, so it was every shot you almost had to grab some grass.
Yep.
And take a look at the wind, because it was like it's not going to be the same as the last hole.
No, and because of that, I think it made us play a little bit more agile, where we weren't necessarily expecting to play our normal shots on these holes. We had to take extra clubs on some and less on the downwinds ones. So it was ultimately a fun round. To me, I wasn't hitting my tee shots as well as I'm used to.
Yeah, but 10 through, so I know you were trying to focus on holes 10 through 12, is it? Or 9 through 12?
14, really.
10 through 14. When you looked at your data, you struggled on 10 through 14 historically.
Yeah.
And I think you went even on those, or at least on 10 through 13 you went even.
10 through 13 I was even, and then I spoke it into existence. What my plan was, then I go on the water on 14.
Right.
And that was just hilarious how I manifested the double there.
Right. Yeah. No, but I'm proud of you that you pulled off that even through the time where you really realized focus. You started going kind of 2-iron off some of those tees.
Yeah.
It seemed like you were more focused, to say the least.
I definitely was just I was like focusing on that was my goal for the day. And so when I approached hole 12, I was like 2-iron. 13, I actually had this thought. I was like, I usually go driver 3-wood, but what's the hurt of a 2-iron? Hit 2-iron there, left myself in the fairway with I think a 9-iron, and made par there. And I'm like, that's how I'm going to play this hole from now on.
Yeah. No, definitely. There was some strong points. I really think the weather played a little bit, and it was just one of those days, where it just felt everything. You wake up with that swing, felt a little off. I don't think we ate correctly.
No.
I know I was rushing to get there a little bit, and we got a 9 a.m. tee time. You start to get real hungry around noon. I had a little bag of nuts and tried to have that be a miracle, but it didn't totally work. But
no, that's not enough. A couple nuts. No, I do think it's pretty hard to tee off. It's hard to play throughout lunchtime. Because rarely do you have enough time to go eat something.
Right. But how important is obviously we see the pros a lot are nutrition, right? But sometimes I've gone to the extreme, overeaten during a round, right? I mean, where's the balance of the correct amount to eat and maybe what to eat? I don't know. Beef jerky's worked well for me in the past.
Yeah, it's almost like what you can do is test things out, right? Like what I do believe is that different tee times require different routines. So an 11 a.m. tee time, totally different routine than an 8 a.m. just because of the food aspect. Like given just that food aspect, you are having to make decisions before the round on what you're actually going to eat and when you're going to eat during the round.
That is such a good point, that depending on what time of day your tee time is, you should have these kind of nutrition packs that are set for that, because you're going to have your, breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you're not playing golf.
Right.
But now if you're on the golf course during breakfast or lunch or dinner, and then what hole are you hitting breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Yeah. Maybe it's like a purely hour of the day. So you're teeing off at 11. It doesn't really matter that the fact that it's 11, but you're going to eat breakfast at 8 and you need to have lunch at 1 o'clock, let's say. So during the round, you can't eat lunch. So how do you split up what lunch is into 3 different moments where you're having your nuts at hole 4, and then you're having a sandwich at hole 9, whatever it might be.
Yeah, no, nuts are good at hole 4, man. I'll tell you that. But right. I mean, and sometimes I'll have like a 12. Say you have like a 12:30 tea time. Maybe you're not hungry yet, but I'm gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go to the restaurant before, and I'm gonna eat, and I'll overeat.
Yeah.
And I'll feel pretty damn good, going on hole one. Like,
Right.
feel like I could just sit on the couch, but now I got to swing a golf club. So there's like a balance of how much to eat, not to overeat, but then you're going to get hungry on the course. I've also done the call in the food on 9, or the best is the cart, press it on the cart,
Yeah.
order a burger on the cart. And then it's like, they're like, hey man, you're up. I'm like, I'm like eating a huge burger.
You're like mashing a huge bite, and you're like, okay, now I got to tee off on 10. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, realistically, I don't even touch it till like 11.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's like I'm already rushed because they were waiting for me because I was picking up the burger and trying to pay for it. So I don't know if that's the solution either, eating a massive meal on the course.
No, I don't think so. I think the biggest mistake we all make is waiting too long to eat. And what I found is that right before you're going to get hungry, you actually have a sense of, I'm fine. Like you could tell yourself, like, I'm not that hungry right now. But then guess what? In 30 minutes, it's almost like it piques your sense of not being hungry. And then like your blood sugar drops. And then you're like, I'm starving.
Yeah.
It's on the course when your focus is needed.
Right.
If you aren't actually like incrementally eating, even when you don't want to, you're going to reach the cliff.
No, your blood sugar is a great point you bring up because, I'm sure someone's done that, but we almost should wear one of those, you have the little injected thing that you see those people with the thing on their arm.
Yes.
And it connects to like an app. And it would be so interesting to track, blood sugar per hole on each hole, depending on what time your tee time was, because you're going to hit highs and lows, and I don't know what, obviously it's going to be the time of day, but like, does a birdie, spike or lower? I mean, I don't know. I guess it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but.
Well, I think what adrenaline does is it removes your other senses. Like it goes over top your hunger sense or your tiredness. Like it removes that in order to perform with that adrenaline.
Yeah.
So as the adrenaline fades, you're going to feel how hungry you actually were during maybe an intense period during a round.
No, and I brought that up a little bit in Maui when I did the pod. I was out of town last week, so it's good to be back with you, man.
Yeah.
But how long the game is, right? Like tennis is pretty long. There's some, there's certain games that are longer, right, than others. And then a lot of sports have brought in like overtime rules to limit them. MLB puts a guy on second base. That's pretty new, where that game used to go on forever. So it gets you thinking a little bit about where does adrenaline come into play. And I was thinking about how long golf is, and then why, does the length, in a sense, these things, golf kind of always goes to overtime in a sense. It's pretty damn long. Like your adrenaline peaks and then craps out and then has to peak again.
Yeah.
Arguably, on a Sunday on the final round, your adrenaline is going crazy. This isn't just a one-time shot for the win or something.
No, it can go up and down throughout the round when you have to make this putt. It's a 8-footer for par and you're on the last day. Like, obviously towards the end you can get more or less, or maybe right at the beginning. But yeah, it's definitely going to change how you feel. And I think the pros depend on their caddy, who can, from a objective standpoint, be like, you're going to eat this bar at hole 12.
Right.
Or not even tell you, but hand it to you at hole 12 and be like, guess what? We're about to get into the last 5 holes, hour and a half, 2 hours of the round. Like, you're going to eat this, because if you don't, in 3 holes, you're going to hit a shot.
Right. And I feel like amateur golfers just don't, they don't eat enough, probably, when they're out there. He's fixing a little camera issue here. New battery in the other one. That's why we have 2 cameras. No, but essentially, when you don't have a caddy and you're out there playing, who's going to remind you to eat a bar? where is your blood sugar at? You know, where's your head at? What time was your tea time? Are you missing lunch now? You know, things like that start to come into play, right? I mean, it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
But to your point, if you're on Sunday at a major, your caddy is sure as hell gonna make sure you have some food in the bag,
Totally.
and they're gonna hand it to you, right?
Well, it's really important because we've all felt it when you get that sense of hunger on the course. You feel like you can't even think because your body goes into survival mode. Now you're like trying to find the next piece of food more than trying to make the right decision on the golf course, which matters way less than food in the pyramid. I can't remember the guy's name, but like the pyramid of needs, like shelter,
survival
food is
yeah.
one of them, sleep and whatever. So like if you're lacking any of those, you're not going to perform well in golf.
I see. Yeah, no, it makes sense. But yeah, I think that's good food for food for thought.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like what is your regimen? And I'm curious in the comments, you know, too, for everyone, like what is your regimen for what do you eat on the course? Is it, you know, I've experimented with a lot of different things, beef jerky. I've brought a freaking poke bowl in a cooler before. I mean, because I caught the poke. But yeah, I mean, there's so many options because that's protein, you know, a lot of options, you know, that you can do. But for some reason, I don't think that eating like a huge meal at the turn necessarily is the right move.
No, you want to just create a stasis. You know, we talk about that mentally. Like, can you maintain an attitude throughout the round? And so essentially everything has to be maintained to stay in a form of stasis.
Yeah, no, for sure. Did you happen to see the Golf Channel games?
I didn't get to see them, but I saw the highlights.
I think a lot of people didn't know that was going on, but I happened to be at an establishment where they were showing it, and me and my buddy just couldn't believe it. We were like, "This is the most entertaining thing we've ever seen." There was like speed golf essentially. There's a timer. The second someone hits, the next guy runs to the ball, hits the next ball. I've never seen anything like it.
Wow.
And it's the pros too. It's Scotty Scheffler. It's all the pros doing it. I don't know. Do we have a video of that pulled up? I mean, it was pretty entertaining. I mean, I haven't seen any negative criticism on it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good here. Let me pull it up. Okay.
Yeah, you guys got to see this. I mean, this is pretty unbelievable.
This is like in the middle of a hole. Here you go.
The wind's on the left. You won't get it like wait till it stops. Wait till it stops.
Oh, there's that trickle effect.
That one killed them. They had to wait for it to stop.
By the way. No. Great shot.
He missed it.
Keith, when the ball's trickling, there's the horn blowing with a 5 and 46. When the ball's trickling like that, it can work both ways. It gets closer to the hole, but you're killing time.
Absolutely. This green has a ton of slope into it, so you really have to be careful that second shot, even though you don't have a yardage or potentially the right club.
How long does this hit?
Let's go back to the tee.
Here we go. They're going to show another one.
Oh, this is way right. Way right.
See, this one, he purposely goes in the water, by the way. Watch how fast the guy can hit the next one.
There's a drop zone. Yep.
He's already in the drop zone.
Wow.
Where is it, Sam?
That's the third shot for Sam Burns.
Oh, it's right.
Because of the drop?
No, stop!
No.
Go!
How much fun is this? You're going to be his by second.
Remember, Team Rory made a 5.
Missed.
Yeah. So that's a 6.
Okay, that's enough, but people get the idea. But so what they're doing there is it's a ratio. The final score is actually a ratio of what was the score and what was the time. So
Wow.
What I noticed was, and what's interesting is if this game, you know, I think this might be kind of a future thing because there's a lot more athleticism involved. There's a lot more strategy. But what started happening throughout that night, because I was watching it for like an hour, they would purposely hit it out of bounds, and the guy would already be in the drop zone waiting. So the second it hits the water, he has the ball in the drop zone and hits it, and he knows the shot. Where otherwise, if it's like in the fairway, they have to run to it. They don't
So,
know exactly where it's going to land.
Is that pretty much because the time is such a big aspect of the score?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. So it's like there's a certain threshold where a 5 in 25 seconds beats a 4 in 40 seconds.
Wow. Well, I guess I see that ratio makes a big difference if you can finish the hole.
And strategically,
Yeah.
right?
So, I mean, I think it's a great off-season thing. Obviously, in season, what you find is that none of these guys really do things on the side because they're just working so much on their game.
Well, I think that's all changing with Live Golf and everything. That the tour is looking for ways to get more people to watch.
Well, how do you make clips, We find ourselves that clips are how you can get views, and like the PGA Tour is looking for clips. And what they're finding is that clips of people making cool shots gets views, but it doesn't get new buyers. It doesn't get new audience members necessarily.
Yeah.
And so, like, if this gets people excited, like, come on, why not?
All I'm saying, yeah, I mean, that watching them race, playing golf and racing, and I think Happy Gilmore 2 does something like this. So my buddy was like, they just copied Happy Gilmore 2. I'm like, maybe, actually. Not the worst idea.
No.
To pull in that Netflix audience. But it was like mildly entertaining, more than mildly entertaining to watch them race to hit a shot and then see like the time they cared about so much. And then the strategy though of if you hit into like an uphill and it had to go up and down, that killed them. Like that one we saw, it killed their time. That was the worst. They got a shit score on that.
Well, I liked the term, the trickle effect, which is like in normal golf, you love it when it trickles towards the hole, but in this game, it's like, stop, please.
Well, that's what's interesting about when you add in a timer, it actually changed all of the physics or the strategy around the physics of the game.
Yeah.
To the point where they're actually taking a hit, aiming for the water, taking that stroke hit just to let the next guy get the next shot quicker.
Right.
So there's probably some adjustments that need to be made and maybe it should be on kind of a different type of course, but that was it. I mean, everyone out there, like, check out the Golf Channel games. It's kind of hard to find online, actually. Like when you Google it, it's like it doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
This is like really new stuff.
Brand new.
Yeah.
First time they've done it. I mean, they're testing everything out to see what gets clicks, I think.
Apparently, yeah. So the other one I have is it's in our shared album, the Tiger video. I don't know if you could pull that up, but at his tournament, he gave like a putting lesson. And I've been meaning to show this in the last couple of pods. I just keep forgetting. But to me, this is like you don't really get a lesson from Tiger for, these days, right? Not in 2025. So I really liked this. This was at the Hero World Challenge. I know we're a couple weeks late on that, but if you haven't seen this, we're going to show it. It's pretty cool.
The putter head must move first. And then I believe the weight of the golf ball is what slows the putter down. So you're okay. So I accelerate all the way through, but the weight of the putter is actually what slows it down. So it looks like I'm punching it.
Okay, but you're saying the forward is less.
Yes, I'm just putting all the energy into the ball, and the ball ends up slowing the putter head down.
I see.
Okay, so you see some players have a follow through like that, right? I don't understand that because I've always said, if you see a guy hit a punch shot, his swing's gonna be shorter on a follow through versus a guy hitting up on it and picking it. It's gonna be a longer follow through. Well, it's the same kind of concept. If you have the weight of the ball stopping the putter head, then the momentum is going to be slower on the front side. I got it. I mean, it's not going to look the same.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm punching it, but this weight of this golf ball is just slowing this mass. That's all. And because my putter is like that, but from an older generation and with a much lighter grip and smaller grip, my overall mass of the putter is much lighter. So since it's much lighter, it gets affected by the weight of the golf ball much more than these newer putters. Your putters with bigger grips, bigger heads, more mass, it's going to go through more than my putter does.
Interesting.
Ben Crenshaw's little 8802 thing stops right away. Okay, it's got no mass to it, so that way the ball really gets affected. And that's why it looks like I'm doing that, but I'm really not.
The GOAT right there. But yeah, you gotta love that, right? He's speaking to
some physics.
Right, right. Because I think someone asked him, like, it looks like you're punching the ball. He's like, I'm really not. The ball, my putter's so light that the ball slows it down. What's your take on that?
Well, my take is that it's an example of the first Newton's law of physics, which is a body in motion will stay in motion unless a force is acted upon it. So what he's saying is that this putter without a ball would move in space freely and have that equal follow through compared to the takeaway. But because the ball is there, this inertia is transferring from the putter head to the ball, sending it forward. And to keep the energy equal, meaning you're not adding anything at impact, the putter head should slow down. And his other point about the fact that the lighter the putter head, the more energy will transfer to the ball, and therefore that putter head will stop earlier.
Which will look like you're punching it, kind of. I think that was what that guy asked him. It didn't show that, but...
Well, you see it all on tour, and I see it amongst all these good players I've played with, where they're putting through, and as they hit the ball, the putter kind of stops. And
right.
you get this sense that they're like stopping the putter head, but essentially that explained it very clearly.
Right. And I feel like some amateurs might think like the pendulum should start and stop at the same point. So it must go, and you see guys kind of push out towards the hole.
Yeah.
But it's real. That's like you're throwing off the pure equation there.
Yeah, you're accelerating through, which I think
that's going to mess things up.
Well, it's just going to be harder to essentially take the energy you're giving the putter with the potential on the way back, releasing it forward, and you're adding something. So how are you going to adjust? How are you going to know what's going to happen?
Right.
Unless you just kind of let the putter fall, which is what he does. Lets the putter fall, hit the ball, and then the putter just slows down naturally.
Right. Yep, 100%. So I'm glad we got to show that, because I wanted to touch on those two things. Something that came up today in our round that was interesting is so in 2019 they introduced a rule that you're allowed to double hit. And it's an accident, right? You accidentally double hit the ball. That used to be counted. Right. And now it's not. So I kind of had a situation where I was kind of up on a tree, and it's, Andrew was saying I maybe lifted the ball, like that lift idea of like scooping or lifting it. Like that was the way to get out of trouble. And I was like, oh no, I took a swing. I just hit it. I hit it maybe I hit it two or three times, but I'm allowed to do that.
Right.
So we're actually curious on people's take on that, on the lifting or scooping the ball. If you technically took a little bit of a backswing, is that allowed? Is that not allowed? It seems like this new rule lets it be kind of in the eye of the beholder of what did you say you did.
Right. I mean, it's like you can't just put the club next to the ball and push it, but if you're trying to make an impact, you can hit the club with the ball multiple times on the follow through.
Right.
You can have a double hit, triple hit, or it can kind of roll up the face.
You could have a quadruple hit.
Yeah, that's the cloudiness of it. They added a double hit, so how many hits and what is a hit? We all know what it feels like to bounce the ball off the face, so we know what that impact is. But as it kind of maybe rolls up the face or something because you hit the mulch behind the ball and it kind of is rolling forward, like at what point does it become a hit and not a hit? It's pretty vague.
Yeah. So, and then there is a rule that you're not allowed to lift. It's allowed in specific situations. But no, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm reading something else about lifting the ball to check what kind of ball it is.
Yeah, like lift clean in place.
Yeah. But
identifying. But
it's scooping or lifting the ball. Essentially, you do need to have some sort of backswing. But it's arguable in my mind on how large that backswing needs to be. I mean, if I'm up against a tree, I'll take a little backswing. If I happen to hit the ball 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times and I got out of trouble, who's going to call that?
Yeah. No, I think if you take even a little backswing, and because it's so short, you can't get enough like impact on the ball, and it just kind of like pushes forward. I think that's almost, that should be fair.
I just am. Is that cheating? Like I'm wondering, like because I'd rather do that than take a real big backswing or a bigger and then miss the ball completely, and now I lost a stroke completely, and the ball's in the same place. You're allowed to hit the ball multiple times. Who's to say I didn't do a backswing? What is a scoop? Hell, I don't even know what a scoop feels like. I mean, I guess I can imagine, like, I could,
you know, when you have a wedge and you can bounce the ball in the face, right? You can pick up a ball with a wedge by just kind of like, you know, putting pressure on it and then adding the right amount of speed. It's kind of the same feeling as flipping a pancake in a pan.
I just never thought golf was like, the cheating was like a feeling. I thought it was like you either cheated or you didn't feel. I just feel like that rule has a little bit of a gray area.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't know, if I'm on the OB fence, right? Obviously, you don't get relief. You're saying how much do I need to do my backswing? Can I
just has to impact the ball, and if the ball maintains on the face because you're adding like velocity behind it, and that ball is staying on the face for more than the time it takes to hit a ball, which is like milliseconds or less, then it probably is against the notion.
I just struggle with that because it's like, maybe I kind of feel like maybe I just cheated. Maybe I scooped it.
I mean, based on the fact that I didn't really hear anything and I just saw the ball roll out.
It was just like a ball lift out.
It was like, wow, that shot was perfect, and it was just rolled out like a putt. It was like maybe it was like
I shot putted it.
Yeah, shot put. If it feels like a shot put, I think that's against the rule.
But my club hit the ball. You know, I mean, I don't know. I just think when you looked up that rule, I was kind of surprised because I was like, I thought you can hit it multiple times. In my mind, that's bar none. Doesn't matter how you hit the ball. I hit the ball multiple times, sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That one's really interesting to me. I'm curious what people think about the scoop, because you're not supposed to scoop it. Fine. Sometimes the ball's in a place where you don't really have a backswing. What do you do?
Yeah. Do
I just have to take an unplayable at that point? Can I sign that card? Am I actually cheating? You know? So I'm these are the things that keep me up at night, man. Like I really don't know now if that was a legal shot or not. Like, and I signed that damn card. So
if basically this
but you're allowed to hit it multiple times. So it's like, who cares how you did it? I mean,
gosh.
I didn't like move the ball and lie about it. Like, I'm not lying.
No,
you know,
it was, I think you put yourself in an interesting position when you explained it to me and told me that guy who doesn't really play that much golf was like, oh, you can do this where you kind of just push the ball.
In my defense, I didn't fully know that you weren't allowed to scoop it, but also that makes no sense to me because all I told that guy was, you're allowed to hit the ball multiple times. Okay. Do what you want with that information, you know? So I didn't necessarily tell him to cheat.
To scoop.
I would never tell someone to cheat. I'm telling someone the rules that in 2019 they changed it, because I actually, what was it like before 2019? If your buddy, you heard it go clack, clack.
Yeah.
You go, hey man, that's 2 strokes. I heard it twice. No, I heard it 3 times.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I heard it 4 times. Like, that's 4 strokes. When they hit it and it's like, it's like, what's the call on that? You know, that's why they got rid of that rule.
Yeah. Cause it was also like, it was 1 swing. I didn't take another swing at it. So why would it be 2 strokes just cause it hit the face twice? Cause it can happen when the speed of the club is slower than, or it's like the ball comes off slower than the speed of the club, and that's why you hit it twice.
Yeah. No, I mean, it seems like the spirit of the rules is the key is it's an accident.
Right.
But again, in golf, you kind of try to use the rules to your advantage. So it's like, what isn't it? You know, the word accident in golf is a funny one because it's like it's an accident if you think it is and you say it is. It's, you know, in competitive golf, what is an accident?
Yeah. I mean,
like, who's gonna like?
It's all right. It's how obvious, how much evidence either party has.
Right.
And if the accuser is like, no, you did this. I saw you go in the water there. You're taking an illegal drop up there.
No, but that stuff I get. That's not accidental. Like, that's like it. I think it came in here. You think it came in there. There's no accident there. That's just disagreement.
Okay.
You know, an accident is like, you know, accidentally hitting on a practice swing was it a practice swing or was that a real stroke?
Right.
And it's like those are the type of gray areas where it's up to the player, where no one else can tell the player, what happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody. You're right. If it's an accident, it's always up to the honor system of the player.
But these games are played for millions of dollars.
No, but they still go that the official would be like, it's up to the guy who did who had the issue, not the guy who was standing 100 yards away watching it.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously
it's a game of honor at the end of the day. These rules are there, but unless there's an official watching every shot.
No, that's my point, is say there is an official watching and I go, that was an accident. Then he would have to, that's a case where they might have to say, well, yeah, we're good. Obviously, in a red drop area, he'll be like, no, I think it was here,
right.
So I disagree. That's not there's no accidents there.
Right.
So there's parts of the game that are interesting to me. Like that rule is just a funny one. You can hit it multiple times, but you can't scoop it. You need at least a little backswing. So who decides that you had a backswing or not?
Yeah.
I mean, when Lexi Thompson marked it and placed it too close to the hole, that it doesn't matter. That was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
She still got penalized 2 strokes. That doesn't matter.
Most of the rules
don't account for accidents.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't even matter.
You're right or wrong.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because we've kind of found like a hole in the rules where the double shot allows for a scoop, but then you're not allowed to scoop.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I scooped. I think I did a small backswing potentially, but then I'm like, now I can't sleep at night because I'm like, did I scoop or did I do a little backswing? But I'm allowed to hit it multiple times.
Yeah.
So I don't know, stuff like that. That one really is fucking with me a little bit, but that one was really interesting.
Yeah, you made a bogey there, and that was an incredible out.
Yeah.
He was under this like palm bush tree thing. And he was just so deep in there that it was kind of like, how is he going to do this? And then it rolls out perfectly on the green.
Right, from like palm tree, like deep into the bush.
Deep inside of bush.
And it just goes, whoosh, pops out perfectly.
Yeah.
And it definitely hit my club multiple times. Like,
there you go.
It wasn't, I'll admit that, which I'm allowed. So that one's really up to the jury, to be honest. The other thing that we were thinking about today was so there's been a lot of comments about, we had a post about missing high on purpose on a putt. I'm sorry, missing low on purpose. And sometimes when you miss low, you're going to be a little bit further away from the hole.
Yeah.
Others argued, I'd rather miss high and be closer to the hole. But what missing high might do is leave you with a real downhill breaker. And it's a funny one because they think that if you look at the PGA Tour Pro percentage, from 2 feet, it's 99%. From 3 feet, it's 96, 99%. From 4 feet, it's 88%. From 5 feet, it's 77%. From 8 feet, it's 50-50 chance, 56%. So my argument is I'm not a PGA Tour Pro, okay? A 3 or 4 footer that's above the hole, downhill with heavy break, of course I'm not making that 88% of the time. But a 5 or 8 footer directly uphill, up the gut, straight, I'm actually making that more around 50-50.
Right. And
so I'm almost matching the pros on that.
Well, and the pros from there are making 70-80%. So like,
but that's not what the people that are commenting on this aren't looking at the stats. My point is the stats don't take into consideration downhill or uphill. It's kind of muddying it all together.
Yeah.
But you don't realize is what people don't realize is they're not leaving it above the hole, like necessarily.
Exactly.
They're not leaving downhill putts because they're not idiots.
Yeah.
So people keep thinking all that matters is how close you are.
Proximity. But I had
it's where
I had like 4 or 5 downhill birdie putts today, and I missed every single one of them. But if I was below the hole, probably would have made 2 or 3 of them.
And they could have been longer.
They could have been longer, and they could have gone in. So it proved to me that staying below the hole is how you make putts.
Right.
And the idea of the lag putt, what I find really interesting is that it doesn't only work on your first putt, but it actually works on your chip shots.
Right.
It works on your approach shots. If you know where below the hole is, you should be trying to end up below there, even if it means your proximity is going to be a little bit farther away.
Right.
Because it's all the same thing of where can you make putts from, and it's like that 30-degree distance away from the fall line is where most putts are probably made from.
Right. Yeah, it's just really interesting to see people's takes on that idea that they're thinking, no, it's all about how close you are. No, it's do you have an uphill or downhill putt for that second putt? I mean, that's really, what it comes down to. So guys, check out golfinthecosmos.com. We have a great guest next week, Tony Krasinski, big guy on X, has the real sports scoops. Stoked to have him on. It should be a fun week, Christmas week next week. So I'm stoked for it, man. I mean, it's good to be back though. It's good to be back, in Cali back from Hawaii. So
yeah, I think we have a round next. We have 2 rounds next week. You playing the Friday round?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it'll be a good week of golf, and then with a great podcast. I'm excited for 2026, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a big year. Happy holidays, everyone out there. Again, get your merch, golfinthecosmos.com. And everyone, happy holidays. Peace.